Welcome back. I'm Paul DeBall, and I've got my main man here with me, but he's holding the second spot today, Carlos Catliff. Welcome, Mr. Catliff. We've missed him for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we have.
That's really good.
You know, we had a lot of work to do, so you know, I've been doing behind the scenes work. Of course,
okay.
Of course, you know.
Okay. Well, actually, I want to. Protocol must come first, and I want to welcome. We have a president here with us this evening, who is Mr. Lesmore Smith, the president of the Horse Owners Association. Good evening, Mr. Lesmore Smith.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, listening audience. I'm giving thanks to be here.
And we also have a potential president of the BVI Athletic Association, Mr. Carl Scatliff. Good evening, Mr. Carl Scatliff.
Oh, well, I thank you, Paul. I'm being positive right now. So
it's just so I feel so honored having all these presidents around me. You know, so it's.
I'm not the president yet, but
yes, there's a lot of potential there. There's a potential there. Yes. But we're not here to talk about you this evening, unfortunately. But we can slip you in.
Okay, good.
From here to there, because obviously you may want to give a little word to your voting public. I understand you have 39 voters to choose from, so you may want to say a little word to them.
So you're giving me that opportunity?
I'm going to give you that opportunity, right? But I did understand that you spoke to other people and we wanted to talk to us.
Okay.
So
we'll talk after Lesmore.
After Lesmore, before the end of the program, we will give you the opportunity to say a few words.
Of course.
But Lesmore, you know, with the wonderfulness of the media, we've been able to sort of sneak in and listen to Letty Hodge. She's been having a lot to say on ZBVI, and they have been gracious enough to give us a little clip of what she said. And so I don't know if you would be open to having a listen to what she had to say on the ZBVI program on last week Saturday.
First of all, I want to say that I'm happy to be here. I've been ducking for quite a while. I want to thank the committee, which I'm a part of, for their support over the year, and I want to also say special thanks to my former committee, which was also good to me over the past year. So I'm happy to be here, and whatever it is, we're going to talk about it positive.
Good. Always positive. Good. Once it's Paul in the morning, it's 100% positive. Okay. I think you know that.
And Paul, but let me just state for our listening audience, guys, this is live. We've been trying to get this fella for a long time, so we have him. So you know the phone lines are open. The numbers to call are right there on the screen. Please do call him if you want to text us. Paul will answer your text. So this is going to be an interesting night, Paul.
It is, because we're talking horse racing, and apparently we're talking about athletics as well. So there you go. I'm going to ask the producer to get the ball rolling. And first of all, Letty Hodge spoke about the track, and she was talking about the condition of the track. So let's plug into Letty Hodge talking a bit about the conditions of the Ellis Downs track in Seacosby.
It's a real serious problem down there with the surface.
I'm very much concerned. Wasn't that, or isn't that problem brought to the president of the Horse Owners Association?
Well, yes, we have brought it to his attention, and that's what happened with the race when I lost the latex summer, because they're going to wait until always, you know, the race coming Boxing Day or hours Tuesday, you know a whole year in advance that is coming. You ain't going to wait until the week before to start grading the track. You understand? And if you grade it, you have to rake it. That's what happened. They graded the track, and they never did rake it. And they graded the night. The morning I came up, brought my horse out. I don't know. A lot of people are like, I noticed on the internet, you know, they slam me saying, you know the track was like that way you put your horse out there from. Not me. If I had known, I would have put my best horse or any of my horses on the track with a surface like that.
That's Letty Hodge. Well, we'll go straight to the president. Some words there by past president Letty Hodge, of course, also horse owner. How do you see that, Lesmore?
Paul, yes. I think it was a very unfortunate situation. I personally was present there the morning when it did took place, and I assisted as much as I could. But as we know, with that sort of injury, there is much that could have been done. I do believe now with the track now placed under recreational trust, where there's a better management structure. Because from being the president, from where I sit, there isn't much you can control, because the maintenance aspect is done from the government standpoint, and we only there to run races on race days. So there's a bit of conflict situation. But I think by now having that management structure from the government standpoint, that would also facilitate looking over the track. They would be responsible directly for the maintenance of it, and not us as presidents have to call up to the department and the ministry or the other person doing the project to get their assistance. So as I said then, and I'll say now, it was a very unfortunate situation to Miss Hodge, and I always, I'm a horse owner, and it can happen to me any day, but it was unfortunate.
And most certainly, you probably hold, you do hold the horse that the fastest horse, not the fastest, but the horse that runs the best on the track now. Letty has the fastest horse. Your horse runs on a mile and up the best. So you have one of the best horses on the track right now. So certainly it is to your interest that the track is in good condition.
But before you go ahead, Paul, because I think we kind of missed something here a while ago.
Sure.
The question was, were you aware of the situation that was going on before she brought her horse out?
Yeah, I was aware. As I said, it was us from the horse racing standpoint trying to make the track user-friendly in a better way, because it was a bit of complaint saying it was a bit too deep on the inner surface. Me, myself, I'm not professional, and I'll never accept to be.
Yes.
Everyone have their own trade. So we did consult with persons who is aware of what to be done on the track, and there was someone overseeing with the standpoint of the machine that was doing that, having it done to the requirement.
Sure.
Unfortunately, we had the grader on site and didn't have the actual rake that would rake the track after that was done, because two different entities. It's a private person giving us some assistance versus somebody employed by the government that is responsible for raking the track. I think oversight coordination wasn't fully intact. You see, big people accept things happen. I'm not going to duck from anything. We were trying.
Yes.
Feeling all the elements,
and of course,
I'm not a professional in getting it done, so I would only ask you.
Yeah, as I say, and in all fairness, it affects your horse as much as it affects any other horse.
Yes, and
so it was basically a matter of the grading and not the raking after the grading.
The coordination between both wasn't actually your call countersink, because after the grading, the raking should have been done. The coordination wasn't done.
Okay.
So it was a very unfortunate situation, and I would always say, it's something I really didn't like. I wouldn't like it for myself, and I wouldn't like it for anyone else.
Okay. Just to remind you, we're here live with the president of the Horse Owners Association, Mr. Lesmore Smith. Along with him is the
co-host for the sports desk,
who is also vying for the presidency of the BVI Athletic Association. We have a caller coming in. We'll take that call straight away. Good evening, sports desk. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, Paul, you got me waiting too long enough.
My apologies. Go right ahead.
Okay, good evening, Paul. Good evening, Doug. And Brother Lesmore.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to say on the horse racing thing, I wish that the horse owners, Lesmore, and everybody else involved, they could come together and get a horse racing thing back on track. So I wish them, good on that. I really wish them guys to get together, deal with the situation. All them guys right now should be really putting together to make it the sport a successful one, Because our sport business and the BVI is dying out. And we need to get our people more involved with sports all around. So I just want to say that to Lesmore. I'm going to switch gears one quick minute. I want to ask Bill a question.
Sure, go ahead.
I was listening to him and Greenwood recently on the radio, and there was a big debate about, the upcoming election for president of the association. So that was my bill, but I wanted to ask him point blank, you're challenging a man who's been not sure exactly what he's been doing or hasn't done, because I'm not really involved with track and field and so forth. But as a person challenging Dean, what kind of plan do you have different from what he's already doing, and how you going to, get the sport to be more recognizable, and how you going to bring some enthusiasm and energy to the sport, because obviously track and field is such a gateway for a lot of our youth. So I hang up and listen, because I really want to hear this response, and I want a good answer. I don't want you to say, like I said before, because you haven't said anything yet. So I want to hear what kind of plan. Give me 2 steps, 3 steps, specifically, that you're going to bring to the table to really move this sport forward.
I'm glad that my colleague brought it up, but I didn't really want to rub the show from my other colleague here. So, Carla, I would answer your call, but
actually, I'm good. I'm sure Lesmore wouldn't mind you. Lesmore, you're gonna give it?
I'm going to give it because
you're just as bad. You're just as bad too.
So answer the question. Go ahead.
Anyway, my plan is, like I said, is to get a lot more junior program started. Like I said, from the Pee Wee program up to the kiddies. There used to be a Royal Neal Games that was going on before. I'm not sure that you're familiar with it, but then this is ages from between 9 and up. We want to revive that. Like I said, I want to get the Pee Wee program started, which is like the preschool games from 3 to 5. I want to get that started. We have a gap between age 17, 18 for seniors, where from 16, 17 when the seniors leave to go off to school, and the ones that stay home, there's not enough competitions for them. I want to get that up and running also. I want to find ways to get that started. I'd also like to bring meets back into a program so we could start to raise some fundings. For example, a Grand Prix meet where we could have professionals come in and compete, whether it be a Masters meets or something to that effect. I want to have that started. Also, I want to get the committees up and running. The coaches association is probably still the only one that's running. I want to get the officials back up and running. There's a lot of committees that needs to be done. I want to get those jump started. I want to also implement training for coaches and interested persons who wants to learn. There's administrative training, there's coaches training, there's even official training. I want to get people certified in those areas. So if we was to put on a big major track meet, we don't have to import people in order to do the job for us. We have qualified persons along. Now, like I said, there's a lot that needs to be done, and I don't want to rob my good brother here from it, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done that I intend to work alongside, my colleagues in getting that done. International correspondence and stuff like that, I think, was a major issue to figure that, Dean is already there. He already made connections with whom. Those are things that can be passed on that I can just pick up and run with. Because for any president, like Lesmore said, I mean, the road is paved already. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's just some of the stuff that Dean couldn't touch is the stuff that I think that needed to be touched were the ones that I really wanted to work with. So those are some of my plans right now.
All right, well spoken. I must say I'm quite impressed. I thought you were going to give me a 2-word answer there, but very good. Let me just answer a few texts that came in. He says, rumor has it that you were willing to help Bates come and not help those men from Rock. Is that true? I don't know.
This is the Lesmore.
I presume it is. There's more. I don't. So
Bates is living.
I don't know if. Is that a question that you can tackle there? Yes, your call.
What it was with that is that I was willing to assist Bates. The reason for that is St. Thomas, we always assist St. Thomas. And we do assist St. Thomas, and St. Thomas do assist us. So there is no doubt about that. That's a fact. But I extend to Mr. Bates since it was him alone, and we were trying to put on a good race.
Right.
And taking in consideration having a new horse like Seven been here once and hoping to get him back again, we would have probably had a good turnout for the day.
Sure.
It was trying to keep the sport alive the best we can. And was just trying to extend the courtesy, because if you're bringing one guy out of St. Croix and he's willing to come to help us to make the day, then it was only courtesy to extend.
Sure.
And St. Thomas, as I say, and us, we always
Extend.
because we went to St. Thomas the other day, they extend theirs, they came by us, we extend ours.
Yeah.
So that relationship is open. That's no close relationship. But it will just assist him. So if I was misinterpreted, I wish to say, well, that's exactly what it was. It was just that was one person versus we always assist St. Thomas. St. Thomas always assists us.
Well, let me ask you, Mr. President Lesmore. 2 dates for horse racing just passed. 2 different dates. No horse racing. Can you update us a little bit on what's going on?
What happened is, as we all are aware in the BVI, that we have limited horses. And limited horses mean that we have to depend on St. Thomas and St. Croix. And St. Thomas, we actually pay, and it is facts, that if St. Thomas is coming to us and we are going to them, it costs us like $3,100, whether it's one person or 10 persons, one horse or 10 horses,
Right, the badge.
Either which way. And we have to foot the bill either which way. Now from St. Thomas to St. Croix and from St. Croix to St. Thomas, they pay like per trailer. They pay $200 per trailer, so you can take 2 horses.
Sure.
So it's like only $100 per horse.
Right.
So it's more economical to travel between those 2 islands among themselves because it's cheaper,
Yes.
and the arrangement is better. They don't have to actually have a charter. The badge travels on given days, and they will schedule what day they will go. So the sort of leniency or issue of getting from one to the next between them is much easier than us, because we have to always create a charter.
And they also don't have the 5-day limitation.
No,
They can
because
leave
it's
the
US.
hotel- They can leave the
But
hotel
I thought it was way for us, wasn't it?
No,
No,
the way by 7 days.
No,
7
okay.
days.
Okay.
Another text came in. Let's just quickly answer this one. And this is the one that texted Lesmore said I should read the number first. But it just basically want to know if you were elected as president. It says, did you appoint yourself as president? I don't know if that's a question that you can answer. I guess
I can answer it.
Sure.
This
It's
is answer I'm waiting for.
you see what happened is it's about time,
we clear the air.
big people make mistakes, and big people own the mistakes because we are not perfect.
Sure.
At the end of the day, I was a part of a committee, and we meant well. We were doing well.
But you were the vice president of the
I
committee.
was.
Okay.
And the committee in the latter stage agree, and this is open, say that they don't have any intention to go back again, to vie for being back in again.
Okay. Okay.
So I took the initiative. I had 6 horses at that time. I took the initiative to put together, because if you say you're not coming, I have not only an interest but a vested interest. I am a horse owner. I have 6 horses. I was a part of the old foundation. I knew what was happening, so I put together, and I'm not afraid to say so. I told him it was not my hide, that I would want to, because I don't want to see it just drop and go dead. Yes, I know there was also issues about horse owners being in charge. Now that's another issue we'll have to raise, and whether or not, if you own a sports car company and your boss say he's going out of business, how can you let somebody else that don't own a sports car company come in and say, because he's not going to maybe have your interest at heart.
Sure.
So that's another issue we have to toss up to decide whether or not, and only the horse owners can do that, whether or not they will want somebody from the horse that is a horse owner be the president, or allow an independent person to come through. That is the horse owner's decision.
Right.
But yes, I made a decision. I put together something. I took it forward. It was accepted. It was just not trying to in any way do anything, as they were saying, undermine anybody, but you said I had no further interest.
Right.
Now, let
We
me
cannot
ask,
go to bed and let it go dead.
let me ask a question before you, Paul. Has any president of the Horse Owners Association ever fulfilled a full term?
Yes, we do, but what we do is we call election pretty early, and the reason for election pretty early is, at the end of the day, because of the transition, we want the incoming persons you go out until the end of the year. Your tenure finish December 31st. But
So it's a 1 year term?
It's a 1 year term as it is for now.
Okay.
But we wanted to ensure that at the end of the day, you're not stuck with information being divulged. You go in early enough to have the transition. So when January 1st, you know what was happening.
Now, my question to that you just mentioned, the 1 year term. Do you think that in a 1 year term you could accomplish all that you needed to be accomplished as a president?
And that
or
is
as a committee?
that is the seriousness of what we are looking at, because it's like you put just touch ground
There you go.
and you're not even accomplishing what
Right.
you're really trying to
Right.
accomplish. But at the end of the day, to follow up before the earlier question that was asked with why not, we limited horses. We are trying to get horses now. I'm encouraging people to buy horses. Some have, some is about to. We are moving forward.
Right. Okay, we're going to take a pause for a cause to thank our sponsors, Digicel, Play to Win, Roton Wholesale with Gateway, and of course Speedies. Without them, we couldn't get across to Summer Jam 2012 in Virgin Gorda. So stick and stay. When we come back, we got more with Letty Hodge, and of course we've got the president here, Mr. Lesmore Smith, and we've got the soon-to-be president, Mr. Carl Scatliff of the BVI Athletic Association. Stick and stay. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Sports Desk. Of course, we're here live with the president of the BVI Horse Owners Association, Mr. Lesmore Smith. Along with him is also the gentleman vying for president of the BVI Athletic Association, Mr. Carl Dawson, who is also my main man, Mr. Carl Scatliff.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry,
All right.
cricket in my head. Okay, we have a text that's actually just come straight. So we're going to take that text straight away, and we're going to follow that response with another quick word from Letty Hodge. So let's answer this question first of all. It says, do you think we're going to get a race before Boxing Day?
Yes, we will call, but not on Tortola. Unfortunately, St. Thomas is scheduled for on the 28th of this month, and having conversation with some of the horse owners today, they were asking me about the preparation for the barge and stuff. So I guess that's where the next race they're going to be, and then Thanksgiving in St. Croix. That's when the other date is going to be. So unfortunately we may not have until such time, and it's a lack of horses. We really stuck for horses.
How many horses do we have right now? That's
we had 9. I think there are 3 more
arrived.
added.
Yeah,
so we are moving forward, and
Okay.
it's going to be positive. But to encourage the people to buy is the issue.
I heard you mention that you paid about $5,000 for your horse. That's not a bad price for.
But that's what we are saying. You don't, and I suggested that you don't need to buy a $60,000 horse to run for a $5,000 purse.
No.
You need to. They always say creep before you walk, and if we can get, and one of the things that I suggested to one or two members of my committee after August races, when I know usually we have a few dollars left over,
Right.
I suggest, can we go down to Puerto Rico and scout at least 5 horses, $1,500 horses,
Yes.
$1,000 horses.
Bring them
St. Croix is doing that.
That's right.
And they bring them right over and they run them. But the thing about it, they're building their sport.
Correct.
Because they have multiple horses. And you don't need to have a Slevin. No.
No.
But if the races are getting going constantly and you're seeing the crowd is coming out, then you could go to the next level. Buy a big horse to beat the big horses.
Okay, just to remind you that we are here live with the president of the BVI Horse Owners Association, Mr. Lesmore Smith, and we're going to go straight back to our lines now, and we're going to listen to Letty Hodge talking about the jockeys. So here's Letty Hodge.
That's another thing. Usually, when I first started out, the committee, they used to try to make sure they have the ambulance around. That is like just for sure to me, I think, because after that, they'll never see them again. And it would be a terrible, terrible situation if a jockey is to get injured down there on the track. Number one, the ambulance will come, yes. You take them to the People's Hospital, yes. They don't have a trauma unit. This is something that they need to have. all of these, you have guys on the scooters and the motorcycles, or you want to call it. I mean, they get injured. Half the time you fly them out the head, there's no trauma unit. By the time you get them stable to go wherever you want to send them, sometimes it's too late. You know? And it's down there where the jockeys accident waiting to happen. I just pray all the time when they got hospitals, let's race go through without no injuries. Some of them escape couple little mishaps, but thank God it wasn't much, you know.
Lesmore, is that something that we tend to overlook? How do we deal with this jockey situation?
Paul, as you're aware that it's a bit tedious. Me coming into the arena just only a couple months. As house owner myself, I have a lot of concerns the same. I know for a fact for the Triple Crown, we had the ambulance on site. I know for the August Festival races, we had the ambulance on site. But these are sort of services we have to pay for. It's not a service provided. From the committee standpoint, we have to pay for them. The issue with the trauma unit, that's outside of me.
Yes, of
I
course.
can't touch that.
Yeah.
But I am saying in the future, as we're aware of, if we should get the track up to standard, international standard, like having a commission, then we probably have the jockey club. We'll have proper procedures what that should be followed and must be followed and will be followed in terms of the jockey being insured and all that stuff. The other part of it, that a bit beyond me. I really can't. You know.
Are you in favor of a commission?
Well, it's one of the things that would have to happen to develop the sport. You will have to have a commission in order to get the sport to the next level, because the commission then would have the regulating your, then the pari-mutuel betting, hopefully, in the future, that becomes the commission issue to regulate and ensure that all the procedures are in place. So the commission do have a real integral role to play. Now the commission is not the horse racing association. It's two different bodies. So it's going to be all good in the end, as long as we get these things in place.
Okay, we had a text coming. It's more of a comment than a question, and the person says that they think that the person to run the track was and still is Letty Hodge.
But that's an opinion.
But that's what I just said. I just said it's an opinion. Another question.
Yeah,
so we thought, being that you're a president, I see you're sharp tonight. That's very good. We do. Lesmore hasn't got the answer, but it's just an opinion.
But question for Lesmore. Lesmore, as president right now, what are you doing in retrospect as far as aiding into that direction of commission, the track being commissioned, and any strides in that direction for you right now?
I know the draft on that was handed to the government before, like some years ago.
Any updates?
No, it would take now, because I think the recreational trust is going to be responsible. Now I think because government now has mandated a body to be more responsible, now they will probably be the one to take it forward in a more, positive way to ensure that certain things happen. But I think in order for the track to meet international standards, to reach where we need to be, because we depend on the gate, the fan doesn't come out, we doesn't get paid. So the economy is of such, you're going to the same people every time for sponsors. So it's pretty tough. But if you have the commission, then you get the pari-mutuel betting, simultaneous casting, where you're having revenues generated on the track itself for the track. Even government itself can be good beneficiary of that, because a percentage is always paid to the government.
Well, we have Letty actually speaking about that. I'm going to just hold that thought with Letty for a quick second, because we have a text. I'll take a text first, and the question is to you, Lesmore. It says, what is the plan for the Triple Crown as far as you are concerned?
The plan for the Triple Crown, right now, Paul, the Triple Crown in itself, you have to ask ourselves if we have horses to compete for the Triple Crown within the Virgin Islands, because Bud White, who would have been a contender, we know he's injured. Then there's
Slevin is there.
There's only two.
Yeah, but you never know when that time comes.
I agree, but however, dialogue. The president from St. Thomas, Mr. Benjamin. I supposed to have dialogue with him between now and next week, because they are the one that really had the whole thing spearheaded it. So we're going now through the dialogue stage. I spoke to a person in St. Thomas yesterday, and I'll come back to the audience and say to them, probably whether this medium or some other medium, where are we going forward and how are we going forward with that next leg of the Triple Crown, because it's about right now it's about the horses.
Okay. Another text for you, Lesmore. It says, what is your stance on other sporting utilizing the infield and generating revenue from the horse racing? So what is your stance on the infield being used by others?
But I'll be straight up with you. I said we can put a nice greyhound track inside there, because you don't need a big kennel like a big stable to have a horse,
sure,
to have a dog.
Yes.
And you can put the greyhound track, and you know that in reality, this is a more foreign sport,
yes,
if I would say, and you're going to get other people outside of the BVI may be involved, because we're not going to have the gambling, as they would say, but it's going to be a more family sport, because it's a sport of the UK and the US where they're more involved with these topics. So I believe if we put that sort of sporting facility in the infield, because we can still watch the dogs run from the stadium.
Sure.
I think, and then the dog wouldn't be a mess to the whole thing, because you're taking them away after the races are finished. I think it would be a good thing. Now somebody mentioned the cricket field. That's something that I don't wish to discuss, because it's an issue where it was already considered we shouldn't allow it. So then it don't make sense of us going to fight over something that the masses don't agree on, especially the horse owners themselves.
What about sports like soccer and
well, that could be, but I think you're going to have to do a lot of leveling issues for the track, since they had the track graded in such a way with certain drainage.
Circle lane or whatever.
Certain drainage on the inside, so it can take the water into the guts. Because if you know that where the track is where the gut used to pass.
Right.
So they had to have inside there with certain drainage.
So you foresee a sport like a greyhound, a dog track versus other stuff.
We have a question here, and I'm going to ask the producers to let Letty Hodge answer this one, because she actually speaks about this. So if we want Letty right after this question, it will actually answer this on pari-mutuels. It says, why doesn't the government legalize gambling so we can have pari-mutuels betting, but yet they don't have people selling lotto tickets every day in plain, but they have people selling lotto tickets every day in plain sight. Every race, every track in the world has a pari-mutuel. That's how horse racing is going to survive. So we'll run Letty Hodge answering this question.
Where in the world you have horse racing when you got to give government something? No, if the government open pari-mutuel betting, we won't have to give the government anything. The government going to be already there collecting. Yeah. You understand?
Whether you win, lose, or
draw, the government will be right there. They get a percentage of what we win.
That's right. And as we are on that point, that brings us to where I want to now take you. How you see the sport without what you just mentioned?
It's not going anywhere. We're going to just stay like we in limbo, like how we've been all these years. Can't go forward. Can't go forward. You cannot make enough money at the gates to put the posters like how you would like. The sponsors, they're getting tired of seeing us. We can only get sponsors big days, Boxing Day, August Shoes Day, days like that. But other than that, we're on our own. And it cannot get better. It can't. Don't care. We try to talk to the government. You need to bring a pari-mutuel betting.
Before you go, there's another text.
Well, the other text is actually asking the same question about legalizing gambling, so we won't need to because it like this answer that. Go ahead.
No, what I wanted to ask Lesmore. Now, there's a new body in place, you said, for the recreational trust. Have you had the opportunity to sit and talk with them concerning horse racing and where the direction horse racing is going yet?
Well, not as yet. I spoke to...
the man in charge was your vice president.
Yes,
is your vice president.
Fortunately, he have resigned.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, yes.
But, however, I spoke with Mr. Barry, and he said that he's finding his way around now because he's have to find out what's happening,
right.
And which I respect. And he's putting together something. He spoke to me personally from the time he got the call. He came. He said, "Lesmore, this happened. This is gonna happen," and we have that respect for each other. And I knew what was happening, and he's gonna make that call, and we're gonna have a meeting collectively and find out where we go from here.
Because if anybody should know, I mean, he's been in that sport in that area for a long time, so he should have an idea, basically, on the direction, they should go and who to call.
Yeah, and as Letty rightfully said, and I don't care what nobody say. Letty's Miss Hodge, as I always refer,
Sure.
I never call her Letty.
Right.
Is a lady I have a lot of respect for.
Sure.
Because she have the same vision. She wants to see the thing happen. And if you go back to some time ago, earlier this year, Paul, when we was elected, I was on your show at the radio station, and I said I would love, if possible, to see horse racing by the end of the year, have parimutuel betting.
You did.
Unfortunately, we're a couple days away. It hasn't happened. That don't mean it can't happen because miracles do happen. And one of the things that I think we're going to have to do is to sensitize the people. 1, 2, more so the clergies. Now, I'm a man that strongly believe in God and all there is to be.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we have to be realistic about life. Whether we bring it legal, it's going to happen anyway. We know it does happen.
Sure.
So we want it to happen the right way. And that's all of us are fighting. And that would, St. Croix get better horses than us because St. Croix have Trasco and all those to give them. Whether St. Croix have one person to the track or 10,000, they still get this. They get paid.
Yeah, they're gonna get this.
We would love to have something similar, that we have that opportunity to get paid.
But what do you think is stopping us here? I mean, for years we've been singing this song. I mean, we probably don't know the chorus by heart. What do you think is stopping us here from that being possible? I know you talk about this Christian community stuff and all that kind of stuff, but like the person just stated, there's people out there selling lotto tickets all the time, and even the preachers are buying them.
Yeah, but we accept that, we know that, but at the end of the day, you see what happened is like, when are we going to stop believing what we want to believe and believe in what is right?
And I'll add to this that somebody is actually agreeing with you. It says it's not Lesmore and it's not Letty who's holding horse racing back in the BVI. It's the government. They say they need to put down the colonial way of thinking and realize that gambling is here to stay and make the thing one big one, make it legal, I guess.
But Paul, I may ask you this question. I mean, you've lived in England. Isn't there horse racing in England? Isn't there gambling? I mean, allowed to bet and all that kind of stuff.
Well, as Letty said on the show the other day, the Queen actually, her main sport is horse racing. She loves horse racing
and polo and all those kind of stuff like that.
Yes.
I mean, they bet on those things.
Yeah. I think I understand where the churches are coming from, in that they don't want it to become like an illness. But as has been rightly said, there are the ladies who sell a lot of tickets out there. Some of them are some lovely ladies, and as Lesmore has said, and I have seen with my own eyes, that there is some serious gambling that goes on. I've seen trucks with money. I've seen guys with guns in their side with my own eyes many times. I've just turned a blind eye and continued to do my interview. So it's long before Lesmore's time. So Lesmore is young as far as that's concerned. So that has nothing to do with him.
But Paul, what I'll say to that is, at the end of the day, it's going to happen when
we don't know.
But I think it's rather sooner than later.
Yes,
we're hopeful.
Because it's not going to help the sport. This is something that our forefathers enjoy. And there's a lot of young people that would love probably to come into horse racing, but I ain't buying no horse, the mentality to put in no stable and you get to no race.
But who would have thought, because we got to take a break, we'll be right back. So we're going to take a pause for cause to thank our sponsors, Digicel, Play to Win, Roton Wholesale, of course, for Gatorade. You want to thank them for that lovely drink, and Speedy. Without them, we couldn't get to Summer Jam 2012 in Virgin Gorda. Hi to Roy O'Neill, there's my good boy over there. Think and stay. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sports Desk. I'm Paul on the ball. I'm in the main seat today. The main man, Carlos Catholic, was actually holding a different hat today. He is vying for the president of the Athletic Association, and he's fighting pretty hard. Gave a little talk earlier. If you have missed it, check back on jtvlive.net. You can hear him again. And of course, we have the president of the Horse Owners Association, Mr. Lesmore Smith. Now we're going to go straight into Letty Hodge, who is speaking about the Racing Commission, because without the Racing Commission, there can be no pari-mutuels. So. Okay, but my producer is telling me to hold on that thought, so we won't go to that yet. Let's go across to, in fact, we have a text. I'll take that text now and take that question. Hopefully it's not one of those ones that we have to... somebody said this twice. I don't know why they said it again. So they said they want to know who is the new PRO, but actually there is no PRO.
I could answer.
Wait, there is no PRO because there have been no elections yet. So we're still waiting to hear. The election is actually going to be next week, Monday evening.
Actually, they met nominees.
The producer is ready. The producer is ready now. So we're going to go straight into Letty Hodge, and she's going to talk about the Racing Commission.
It would be good, but you need to get the track itself up to standard if we're starting in a commission. Because if you have the track up to standard, then I think you could bring in the higher ups to deal with certain things and have the commission on horse racing. But to have a commission now, we have nothing going. I think that's a waste of time.
So let's let you on commission. Of course, she's reiterating what we're saying. Mm-hmm. The person actually wants the question. They want to know who is the present PRO. This is a question they're asking actually. Who?
Are you talking horse racing? No. Or are you talking track and field?
Well, they didn't say. But let's say both. Who is the present PRO for horse racing?
Mr. Klein.
He doesn't even know his PRO. I don't know.
Wait.
Dwight Klein. So I just call him Booze. That's all.
So Dwight Klein is Boozer. He is for PRO and a PRO for
Athletic Association. I'm assuming it's the president,
Dean Greenaway. So yes. Dean Greenaway,
because he's the one that disseminates all the information.
Right. So Dean Greenaway is the PRO for this.
He's probably the PRO, the vice president, the treasurer, and everything.
Well, let's not be biased.
Yes,
another thing I was saying with the pari-mutuel, yes, or with the betting, if you say you allow somebody talk about the nice ticket ladies, and we know we have no problem with the nice ticket ladies because most of them, that's their daily living, and you have
but hold on, if you go on that topic, we don't have a lot of problems.
I know.
Okay, so
I agree, but you have to reality be reality.
Yeah, sure.
And if we look at it, every year around the festival season, we build a small area in the village for the people to play the colors.
To gamble.
That's gamble.
To gamble.
Okay,
yes.
good.
And we are allowed for the
festival season.
Right,
so why can't we, to begin with, allow horse racing only on the days of races between 4 and 6? Just reference. You have the pari-mutuel open
between 1 and 6. 1 and 6.
And it's closed.
You got races like from 1 o'clock. So between 1 and 6.
Okay. And it closed afterwards.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way of getting it started. And I like that approach.
How it rotates and see what happens.
But like again, Lesmore, when we're thinking along those lines, like I said, it's Paul says a small. We can start on a small scale, but you still need bodies in order to get that done. And according to you, that's in the hands right now of the trust.
Yeah.
And we don't know if the people who are in the trust are able and ready to take on something like that, because I know they have a lot of different areas of sport that they have to deal with too.
Now, gentlemen, I'm going to divert a little bit here, because I know this is a local show, but the West Indies actually won the T20 World Championship.
Hooray.
And I wanted to show a bit of the celebration because Chris Gayle was rolling all over the floor.
Yes.
And it's the first time we've won a major championship in 20 years. And it affects the whole Caribbean.
It does.
So I don't know if the producer, there we go, there all guys. West Indies is 220 2012 champions.
And doing the what kind of boogie to shoot it?
They were dancing and celebrating. And the whole world watched it.
Yes, and we definitely have to give congratulations to them, because like I said, over 20 years we've been trying, and we finally did it. So Lesmore, there's hope.
There's hope.
Let's hope
everything there.
Let's hope we don't have to wait 20 years. But
so would it be nice to see Carl like that rolling and dancing in 20 years' time?
I hope I did.
Look at the way Chris Gayle. How's it going?
I hope I did. That should be allowed.
So There we go. We've even seen some of the shots. There we go. So again, congratulations to the West Indies and T20 champions. It's certainly good to be back in our winning ways, and we hope that Darren Sam and his boys stick with it. We're nearly out of time now, so Lesmore, we've talked about parameters, we've talked about the racing commission, we've spoken about the track. Where do we go from here?
Well, we haven't talked about Lesmore.
Okay.
Your next election. When is that due?
Well, the next election.
If you have a set of people running with you again.
By the way, before you answer, Carl will be asking the question, just in case he doesn't make it here, he wants to come.
But I would say publicly, I'll invite any person or persons that have interest in horse racing to be a part of us. Come down, show that you're interested. I don't have to be. No, as I said, it was a vested interest.
Sure.
My committee say that I was a part of said they were going home. It was where do we take the transition, knowing we had already planned for the Triple Crown for 2012. So everything was there in the making, and I just wanted us to see through.
Yeah.
Just if this didn't say that, I might not have taken that step.
Right.
So I want to clear that. I mean, people take challenges, and I take challenges very seriously. And if I'm a part of something, I put my heart into it. I want it to work. I want it to work not only for me, but for the best for the country. And that's what I did. And
well, we have to congratulate you because, like I said, you saw the Triple Crown through. I mean, you were there in the beginning when it started.
It's not about me, so I wanted to be said it's about a committee.
Of course.
Those guys.
Would you on the committee? Would you at the head?
Yes,
it's
us. We did it wholeheartedly, no disrespect, and the former committee that I was a part of, we give them everything in terms of whatever perks there were for the whole segment of the Triple Crown. So it was good. It was all good. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, the misconception. I know I'm not too popular, but I know
But you are.
We have a few texts coming in. Let me just give them. This person made a general comment. He says everything the government build to enhance sporting in the BVI starts big and then goes dead. He says where there's no vision, the people will perish. I guess he says. But he says the masses suffer. In this case, it's the Horse Owners Association. Government get real. Stop wasting money building these big facilities, and I guess he means leaving them there afterwards.
But that's a good statement.
And then we have another one, if I can just go to the next one, and he says Carl, they'd like you to do the dance to Carl. They're asking for Carl, so Carl, if you just stand up, they'd like you to do the Chris Gayle dance.
Well, I don't want Carl to hurt himself.
I can tell at this moment in time, I have to refrain from any kind of dancing.
Well, after Monday evening.
After Tuesday.
The elections are Monday.
Yeah, but the Tuesday I could do the dance.
Oh, you want to dance Monday?
No. When it hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's let we have another minute to go. So yes, Lesmore. Back to you.
In closing, Lesmore.
In closing, what I would like to say, thanks to the general public, and thanks to the horse owners. Thanks to my committee for the dedication, the horse owners for putting up with whatever. Thanks for all the comments, good, bad, different, or whatever they were. It makes me a better person. I understand people make mistakes, they learn from mistakes, they develop from mistakes, and sometimes if you have something to say, you don't need to shoot the person in the head. You can come straight up and help them to develop instead of tearing them apart.
Sure.
Taking in consideration is not us only around the table. The rest of the world, we are tearing each other apart that way. I want us to be better people. I want horse racing to be better. I have invested in it. I am not going anywhere. Only God going to take me. And what it is now, I want it to become better and better and better.
Excellent.
So thank you all very much. Thanks Japan from St. Thomas, St. Croix, the Horse Owners Association, St. Thomas, St. Croix. Thank them all for their support over the year, and look forward for 2013 New Governors Cup 3-time champion, I'm still very believing in my heart I can do it. So.
Okay, a quick text to stick it. He says good night to you guys and your viewers. Good luck to Carl, but I hope that if he's not successful, that he will still show even more interest in the sport and with our kids. Carl, we'll end with you.
Before we do that, yes,
before
we do that, I just want to make a quick statement to you, Lesmore. Take in consideration, like I said, extending your term instead of 1 year to a little more than 1 year in order to get your stuff done.
Well, only the horse owners can do that, and when we call election, if they did that, then it means that it was their choice.
No, but even if you're not the president,
we'll make the books.
Right.
Speak with
you got 3 seconds.
I would love to say, guys, my intention is still good, and I will be, whether or not, I'm going to be there and always be there. That's my sport.
So, until next week, thanks for listening. Thanks to Lesmore. Good sports to you.